My biggest female inspirations have been the women that I work with in the communities that the Bucket Brigade serves. So in Norco, Louisiana, there's a woman named Margie Richard. In New Sarpy, a woman named Dorothy Jenkins. And now in St. James, Louisiana, where I'm spending most of my time, there's a whole bunch of women, including Sharon Levine, Barbara Washington, Myrtle Felton, Gail LaBeouf. Really, the list is a long one, but it's all the women in the communities where I've worked. I did. I had a mentor that I think is a bit different from the way you think about a mentor maybe in an office. For a long time, I went to a summer camp. It was a very important part of my life. And actually, a lot of people around New Orleans, or certainly there's a good group of people around New Orleans who went to the same camp. And the director of that camp, whose name is Casey Thurman, was a big influence on me and has had a lot of impact in the way that I approach my work and in the values that I bring to it. When you're just starting out, it can be difficult because you might have a number of different interests and maybe you aren't even sure about which career path you want to pursue. And sometimes at the start of your career, it can feel disheartening if you start to go down one road and maybe something doesn't work out, or maybe you're just not as interested in it as you thought you were. But I think some important advice that I would give for young people just starting out is that to figure out what you're not interested in is actually quite important. And so not to be discouraged when that happens, but just to keep going. And then the other component I would say is that oftentimes people have a number of different interests and they might seem wholly unconnected, but in fact, in the end, sometimes you can actually weave together subjects or interests that you have that at first glance might seem disparate. And I think too, that's the way that you can build a unique career and a profession that is perhaps a little bit unusual, but can be really fulfilling because it matches your interests. I have a coworker whose name is Hope LeBlanc. We've worked together for 10 years now. She handles the finances at the Louisiana Bucket Brigade. And anybody who runs a business knows that you cannot go anywhere if your finances aren't organized and in order. Hope has managed that with real grace. We're a nonprofit, so sometimes, of course, times have been tough, but she hasn't batted an eye and has always had confidence in our mission and in our ability to keep moving right along. And that has meant so much to me, and there's absolutely no way that the organization or I would be where we are today without Hope LeBlanc. Best work from home tip is to get outside. One of the benefits of this time is that you can work from anywhere. And so I've put a chair outside on a balcony and I've been working underneath a big, beautiful tree. And I think here in New Orleans, even if you don't have a great yard or a big house, because we're in such a verdant, beautiful place, almost everyone is near some sort of beauty. And so that's my tip, is that work near a gardenia or an oak tree or someplace that feeds your soul, because this is a tough time and we have to get support and beauty anywhere we can find it. I have a very easy answer to this question. The most challenging and ridiculous and ultimately disastrous thing I tried to make was cake pops with my 8-year-old daughter. A friend sent us a cookbook for kids, and my little girl wanted to make these cake pops. It's like a little round piece of cake on a stick. And it was actually a disaster. When you see them in the store, they're perfectly round and they've got icing all over them and maybe even a little design. And when you looked at the ones that we tried to make, you saw what looked like a cake explosion on our countertop. So it was entertaining and delicious, even if we didn't get them in the form that we wanted them. I am very much a sweets person. So if you ask me what cocktail I want, I will usually say, do you have any ice cream? However, I do have a favorite cocktail and it's pretty simple. It's just a good old gin and tonic with a lemon. So I have a bottle of gin. I have a decanter where I keep my gin. It's something that my parents had at their house. And so that's my trusty go-to, just a bottle of tonic and that decanter of gin.